Hello everyone, I'm Charlize Hyman. When you think or hear of Monica Lewinsky, Bill Clinton, Anita Hill, Clarence Thomas, what comes to mind? Well, for me, it's sexual harassment. Now, the first successful case alleging sexual harassment was the William v. Saxby case of 1976, where a woman sued her employer, alleging that her supervisor fired her because she refused to have sex with him. But it wasn't until the 1991 hearing of Justice Clarence Thomas that the sexual harassment concept entered national awareness. Now, according to the Equal Employment Opportunities Commission, employees are protected under both state and federal law against workplace sexual harassment. Based upon Title VII of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, sexual harassment is defined as unwelcome sexual advances, requests for sexual favors, and other verbal and physical conduct of a sexual nature. Now, in 2010, over 11,000 sexual harassment charges were filed with the Equal Employment Opportunities Commission and the state and local fair employment practices agencies around the country. Now, there have been many recent developments that have been shaping and redefining what sexual harassment really is and how to deal with it within the workplace. Here, you will learn the different types of sexual harassment, situations in which sexual harassment may occur, and an employer's obligation. We have Lindsay Fuller here to explain the different types of and behaviors of sexual harassment. Lindsay?
Thank you, Charlize. Hello, everyone. I'm Lindsay. I'll be speaking about the several different types of sexual harassment that may occur. These types include sexual joking, sexist words, sexist behavior, sexual advances, requests for sex, sexual intimidation, and sexual criminal conduct. Sexual joking could be making jokes about performing sex on or with whom you're speaking to, making jokes about things you have done or things you would like to do, or jokes that just have a sexual nature in general. Sexist words can be pet names, commenting on a place of a woman or a man, derogatory comments about one's body, their sexual orientation, or their gender. Sexist behavior could be staring, sizing someone up, cornering someone, inappropriate touching such as grabbing, caressing, hugging, being in someone's bubble, invading their personal space, leaving sexist notes, or those types of things. Sexual advances consist of all of the above. They could be sexual jokes, sexual innuendos, comparing sex stories in front of or around someone who may be uncomfortable with it, harassing calls, emails, text messages, repeatedly asking someone out who's not interested in you, crossing the line and asking personal questions that you would not typically ask someone that you're not involved with. Requests for sex. That's exactly what it is. Asking someone or implying to someone or trying to perform sexual acts on someone are all requests for sex. Sexual intimidation is a big problem. This is where I feel that things get very serious, is when someone is coerced into performing sexual acts on someone because they feel that their job is in jeopardy or that they will benefit in their job from performing these acts. And then lastly, and most severely, is sexual criminal conduct. These are any sexual harassment or sexual assault cases that can be prosecuted and someone can be placed in jail for, or any type of criminal actions can occur. So, with that being said, next up is Shanae, and she will be speaking about situations where sexual harassment may occur. Thank you.
Thank you, Lindsay. Sexual harassment can affect both men and women. It can happen everywhere, such as educational institutions, employment institutions, and any time amongst friends, family, or even strangers. Any verbal, nonverbal, or physical advance can be classified as harassment. People often joke too much, not knowing when they've crossed the line, and can provoke people intentionally or act idiotically. Sexual harassment is often thrown into conversations that may be flirtatious in nature as well. These situations also make it hard to distinguish what qualifies as sexual harassment Any verbalizations that imply sexual actions or thoughts can easily be considered sexual harassment depending on the context in which it has occurred. Sexual harassment can occur in a variety of circumstances, including but not limited to the following. The victim as well as the harasser may be a woman or a man. The victim does not have to be of the opposite sex. The harasser can be the victim's supervisor, coworker, or non-employee. The victim does not have to be the person harassed, but could anyone affected by the offensive conduct. The harasser's conduct must be unwelcome, unwanted jokes, gestures, offensive words on the clothing, or unwelcome comments. Touching and any other bodily contact such as scratching or patting a coworker's back, grabbing an employee around the waist, or interfering with the employee's ability to move. Repeated questions for dates that are turned down or unwanted flirting. Transmitting or posting emails or pictures of a sexual or other harassment-related nature. Displaying sexually suggestive objects, pictures, or posters. Playing sexually suggestive music. Lastly, federal law recognizes two different sets of legal grounds for claiming sexual harassment: quid pro quo and hostile work environment. Now over to Nina, who will further discuss quid pro quo and hostile environment within her topic about employer obligations.
Thank you, Shanae, for your topic. We were just previously discussing situations in which sexual harassment can occur in the workplace. Now we will move on to our closing topic, and that will be the employer's obligation. The employer has an obligation to each and every one of its employees to report any sexual harassment of any kind, whether it be sex, race, religion, and with sex it does include women that are pregnant, age, color, sexual orientation, or physical appearance. No matter what, it has to be investigated if someone brings up allegations of sexual harassment to any of these groups or categories. Also, when it's investigated, they try to limit the liability with the company so that the employees know that we're taking this seriously, as well as it limits the morale being decreased because employees don't feel like they're being taken seriously when a case like this comes about. So in closing, we have to make sure that all of the things that we previously discussed, whether it be the situations that it can occur, the types, whether it's a feel, an inappropriate conversation, or any of these things that come up that you feel may come under the category of sexual harassment, we must address these as quickly as possible to limit any kind of further harassment being taken place in that particular situation. So as we close, I hope you enjoyed the topic that we discussed regarding sexual harassment in the workplace, and you will govern yourselves accordingly with the information that all of the presenters have given you regarding how to deal with sexual harassment in your workplace. Thank you for your time.